What's up, Simonics? Welcome to your favorite news show on YouTube. It is the show for all Ionic fanboys. Today we got a lot of topics to cover because the last episode was almost 2 months ago already. There's a lot of new content, a lot of new releases and updates to discuss, great articles that I want to mention, and also perhaps reveal some new projects that might be interesting for you. So let's waste no time and dive right into it. Okay, let's start with the Ionic Academy. The new course of the month is the WordPress-powered Ionic Apps course. In this course, I was really diving into the WordPress API to not only, first of all, manage the setup, which can be kind of tricky. Perhaps you've noticed some course issues over the usage in the past, but also how to show and load posts, how to build a menu from different pages, and also how to include some additional plugins to actually make the WordPress authentication work with JSON Web Token. So really interesting topic. And finally, of course, something about push notifications, which was actually really fun and not too hard to set up. So I really love this new course, and over the next time there will also be very soon a new course on the Capacitor basics, because by now I've finally also fallen in love with Capacitor. I'm always a bit late to the show, but anyway, this will be released soon. Besides that, you see we got quite a few things to cover. Besides that, in terms of content on the Ionic Academy, there are 3 new quick wins to check out for all members, or for you on YouTube, the videos as well. First one was on a responsive data table, because I used a lot of packages in the past and I felt like most of these things could actually be done with simple Ionic components like the grid, the list, items, a bit of additional styling here and there, even pagination. So in this quick win, I was really working on these basics to create a simple list. Second quick win was interesting, something requested by the community, and that was the behavior you might know from the Facebook application, that once you scroll through the application, the videos start automatically, and you can even put them into this little box at the bottom. Right now, as I see it, I actually don't know how I've done it, and it looks kind of cool, so check it out. Definitely cool story. Anyway, something I'm really happy about is diving into the Ionic 5 APIs with the custom gestures, and also pretty soon the animation library. With the gestures, you could add cool people like these, especially Mike. Oh, I forgot Matt too. Really important. I'm sorry, Matt, if you watch this. I know you kind of watch all my videos, so next time you will be included. But as you can see, this is done completely with Ionic, no additional package, just the Ionic gesture API and catching events. Really interesting topic to dive into. Now, in terms of other content on my blog, you might have seen the 15 Angular component libraries. You also requested to make this kind of show over the next time. I really don't know yet, because yes, there are definitely like hundreds of packages, but checking all of them out will be kind of tricky. But I'm open for something like this, another review of additional libraries. Let me know if you're interested in this topic, and otherwise check it out on DevDectic. As well, on DevDectic, kind of little teaser to the course of the Ionic Academy on how to use WordPress API authentication. If you're using WordPress, give it a try, check it out. It is really kind of magical, and I really like to integrate WordPress with Ionic, because so many pages are powered with WordPress these days. Okay, 3 minutes, good time, we can talk about the rest as well. 2 more pieces of content that actually not appeared on my pages, which are adding sign-in with Apple to Ionic. So that's a guest post I did for the official Ionic blog once again. And this is something you definitely should check out, because if you have some sort of social authentication in your app and run on Apple, this is something you have to include in the future. But the good news is it's actually not that hard. You just have to set up a few things within Apple. You can then use Capacitor. And I don't know why my images are so big. That's definitely not what I wanted to look like. Perhaps somebody can check this. But anyway, easy peasy adding sign-in to Ionic, adding sign-in with Apple to Ionic. And finally, a little gem. I don't know when it was released, but the blog of Jorge, I hope I pronounce it right, because he's from Colombia, so I think that's right. A little short post on how to use Firebase callable cloud functions. I also discovered this recently. It is not too hard. It's basically like having your little API that you can call right from your Ionic application by using Firebase functions. If you're interested, check out Jorge's blog. He also has a nice course. I don't know if it works now. The fuck, it has a new URL. Anyway, his course was built with Ionic, so really cool stuff. Definitely check it out. He's a very good Google developer expert, actually. Now, that's it in terms of the content. Now let's talk about two little projects. The one project is the Kickoff project. This is a project to bootstrap your Ionic application. I've presented you this over the last time quite a few times, I think. And I actually found that this page looks horrible and the UI is very bad, and I didn't like anything about it. And because I wanted to get back into the project and add a few more functionalities, I completely ditched this project in favor of a new bootstrapped design. I hope you will enjoy it. I actually enjoy it a lot more. It's not yet finished, so not yet deployed, perhaps when the video is out, but I'm not sure. And it will be a lot cleaner. It will have user accounts, so you can keep track of your previously bootstrapped applications, and the whole flow of the editor will be a lot better. The general functionality for now will be the same, but I think the UI is a lot clearer now. I got examples on the navigations, things that are coming. I now also got a custom theme that you can add to your application. And it is just in general a better foundation for this whole project that I feel confident with moving forward. So definitely check this out. I think I'll also make another vlog on this topic once it will be released to showcase everything interesting about this project. But that's something I've been working on. Now, something I've been working on that I've never shown before. This is an application. You might see a reference to another application, because in the beginning I kind of wanted to completely duplicate that app, but I ditched that idea as well in favor of building simply a complex Ionic application with Firebase. And why is this relevant for you? Because one, this application is pretty cool. It has a lot of cool UI things. It got sign in with Google, which actually works. Hopefully. Let's try. It's using Capacitor, of course, so pop up close by the user. Yeah, as usual, it works great. All right, simply running on the wrong port. Can happen. Now, what I wanted to show you is that this application consists of a lot of elements that are really important in bigger projects, and this is not just a simple hello world application. It is actually, as you've seen, kind of like the Trello application, with a lot of cool things, selecting colors, basically completely following the idea of the application that you might have used in the past. And all of this is accomplished with Firebase in the background. We got attachments, we got image upload, we got cool checklist items that we can add, we got assignees, we got due dates, we can collaborate on these boards, and we got fun with the Ionic slides actually. And a lot of other topics, including search with Firebase and Algolia, push notifications using cloud functionalities, more image upload, more collaboration, and all of this. This was a project that took me very long, and another project that also took me kind of long was setting up a decent environment to write a book, because this project should become a book. And I will shortly show this because it's kind of not yet revealed, but as you see, it will be about this whole complex application with right now about 20 chapters outlined. This will take me quite some time. I will get started writing this week, or perhaps when the video comes out already last week, and I have no idea, but I will keep you updated about this book. I hope that you will enjoy it. I think it will be really something helpful for a lot of Ionic developers, because it not just covers the basics, but some additional topics, as you've seen: social authentication, push notifications, adding services and cloud functions to Firebase, Algolia, RxJS topics within this application in the background. So really confident and happy about this, and I will share more about it soon, but this was something I've worked on a lot over the last time. Let's finally discuss a few topics from the Ionic blog. One thing you should definitely check out is from Max Lynch how Capacitor works. If you're interested in the internals of Ionic and Capacitor, this is something you definitely need to read. Take an evening to go through all of this. It is really super interesting and shares a lot of insights, and you will have a lot better understanding of how things actually work. Then also Mike got an interesting post about Apple trying to kill progressive web apps, because there was now a new release and some APIs didn't work as well or were changed. And in general, the assumption that I have and also that Mike has is Apple is to many degrees simply trying to protect your user data. You might think different. If you're an Android user, you will of course hate Apple for everything, but that's the same for me with Android. Anyhow, Apple is not really trying to kill progressive web apps or your Ionic applications. I don't know how many questions I got about this in the past. They are just making changes to their APIs. They are perhaps not 100% focused on these standards and progressive web apps, but I think they will definitely support this anyway. You can read it on the Ionic blog as well. And also our good friend Matt Netco, hey, if you're visiting this video, is kind of fallen in love with Capacitor because he actually released even 2 posts on Capacitor in a quite short time. And maybe to some degree, I've also fallen in love with Capacitor because of his post. Because Capacitor 2.0 was released very recently, and with the release there are a lot of great updates in terms of the native environments, Swift, Xcode, Android 10, and by now I really feel good about Capacitor. If you check out Capacitor in the community plugins, you will see a lot of new plugins in there already. You can also now use Cordova to, which is kind of strange, but they want to rename it anyway, to generate your resources. And I've worked for the application of the book with Capacitor. I got live reload on 2 devices working. I was working on the browser with it, and I might actually do more on Capacitor in general over the next time, because I really feel by now that it's a great addition. If you work with a lot of Cordova plugins, still need to migrate, it can be tricky, but for the future I always now start my applications with Capacitor. So go ahead if you want to check it out. Great additions to Capacitor. And finally, something I just noticed was that Ionic was or is working together with Zeit. Actually in German this is the word for time. I don't know if this is a German company, but they got a super easy hosting for your progressive web app. I always used either my own server or Firebase hosting in the past, but it looks like I should give this a try. So if you want to see something about progressive web app hosting, perhaps using this service, but looks like it's free in the beginning, please let me know below the video and I will happily record something on this, because I think something else besides Firebase would be a good idea anyway. Alright, it's been kind of interesting month in terms of a lot of content, in terms of the Capacitor release, which is really promising for the next time. And also I spent a lot of time during the last weeks on these new projects, especially the Kickoff Ionic project, which I hopefully can release really soon with this new updated UI and some additional functionalities. And of course, I would love to get your opinion on this project. In terms of my other book project, I'm not yet sure when it will be released because there are a lot of chapters to write. I've just barely set up the project to write on it. The application is basically finished, so I really don't know how long it will take me, but I will keep you updated about this as well. Regarding the other topics like the progressive web app deployment, I'm sure we will get into this over the next time. I also want to take a look at Ionic Studio once again. Really a lot of things to review and check out over the next episodes. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like, hit the subscribe button and also the bell so you never miss out on any new episode of App Review or the Ionic the Ionic Fanboys show. And of course, like before, stay healthy, stay home, take care. Anyway, write good code, perhaps with Ionic, perhaps with the Kickoff project, which will be maybe released then. Have a great week of coding, and I'll catch you next week like always. So happy coding, Simon.